Danganronpa.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only then I'll punish everyone besides the black.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot.
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Friendship penetrates?
Okay. There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about that. First up is the case summary.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already. And the murder took place.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that's wrong!
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's...
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, that's wrong! No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret when nobody was in the dining hall.
No, that's wrong! Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have... What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier? Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
then there's no way anyone would work together.
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rule?
Ugh, good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because,
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore. Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only... And thinking back on it, when she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
Then the person who took the knife was the victim herself!
I'm sure she...
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all!
No, you're wrong!
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about.
Now I understand! That's right! There wasn't a single hair on the floor!
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my...
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait.
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true.
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand. The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
Shoot!
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door, because Sayaka had locked it.
No, that's wrong! The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door. That's not lucky.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first? Everyone should have known you can't.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time.
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happened?
Well, why don't we just vote right now?
Majority rules? Do you really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh! As a matter of fact, you don't gotta sound so.
It's fine, it's fine. Just.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yeah.
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. Let's see.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No.
Oh, trying to argue against hello? What?
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place. Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this. I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto, which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there.
So, Makoto.
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature.
but why?
The note was likely her way of getting in. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on...
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention. Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room. Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says,
I see. So if so, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
No, that's wrong. The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note. She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them...
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then? Whoever she invited over. We figured it out!
But... I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should be right there where her wrist is. It sure is. Specific, you barely... And there's some on her...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword. And that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, that's wrong. Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Something
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down!
If the sword was... If you were going...
That's true.
Okay, so
If they got attacked in that situation,
So you're saying
which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who
I think I get it! So here, the culprit came in, found... Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening! So...
What? How the hell can you not think that?
because she never held the sword at all. There's a...
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't...
Why do you say that?
No! I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time, in other words, at nighttime. And the water...
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Oh my.
You're no different! You smell like a big fat ugly donkey!
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the killer is the... But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
Shoot! I got it! Sayaka?
But
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And
indeed, these are all the actions.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever, and by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out, while still if the target knew she had switched rooms.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked...
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that. I'm sure.
Plus, she was the ultimate, totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar.
Wait, then you're saying she had this.
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
You're being soup, wouldn't it?
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
no, that's wrong! There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's
Dining. Wait, what?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. What the heck do those numbers mean?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks...
What? What?
No, it's just... look at the... Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more...
Ah, you're right. Looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a
But even if that really is an N, N037,
Rotate the image 100...
Oh my god.
Huh? So, whose name did...
Here's my answer! The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N, or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
I got it! You mean...
And to dispose of the and the killer didn't... Isn't that
But is one scrap of fabric.
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are... I got it! If you look closely at how the...
Oh yeah, that's a good point. You can't reach the and obviously you need the key to... So the killer The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one the person in charge of the trap?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence.
No, that's wrong! Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence.
But
What is it?
I got it! The killer... Hifumi had the key. Was because once they got in the incinerator...
Hey, come on!
all you have to do is the shards are broken if the...
Wait, no...
But the
I got it! Because the key... You! I think I'd better take one more. Last night, she. The killer is you! But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. During the struggle. And that's when she lost. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and the killer went after her. What they didn't know, Sayaka knew about that because So instead, the killer and stabbed. But with what strength to keep. And with Sayaka dead. First they took off. Then they took the lint roller in my room. They wanted to make sure they got. Afterwards, they tried to burn but the trash room was blocked. So the killer made for any norm and. Isn't that right, Leon? It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball.
When the killer removed the screws in.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! Stupid! You lie! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof?
Is this real? I refuse to give up yet!
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, instead,
refuse to acknowledge. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lie. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. Stupid. You lie! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! Where's your proof?
This should prove it.
The screws on the bathroom.
Looks like you all have a lever. Oh, me. Okay. Who will be? What's it?